The 1st Marine Parachute Battalion was created to solve a clear bottleneck: how to insert a small force into an isolated objective, strike quickly, and finish the action before the enemy could reinforce. They were trained to drop behind defensive lines, rally within minutes, and attack immediately with the firepower they carried. Their doctrine rested on a specific requirement: no waiting for follow-on forces, no pause to reorganize, no immediate dependence on resupply. At Gavutu, they did not descend from the air. They stepped off landing craft onto a small, heavily defended island that had to be taken on the first day. The method of approach changed. The requirement for speed did not. The Paramarines moved ashore, and from that moment, the limits of the mission were defined by what they carried with them. Item 1. Primary weapon. The Rising M55 was the primary individual weapon issued to most riflemen in the Paramarine Force in 1942. When the unit was organized, its structure differed from a conventional rifle battalion. Instead of building around a standard semi-automatic rifle, the formation was structured toward distributed automatic fire at the individual level. The requirement was clear. After deployment, each man had to generate immediate pressure without waiting for concentrated fire from the rear. The Rising fit that structure: compact, mobile, providing automatic fire within a dispersed formation. This configuration allowed the unit to attack with distributed automatic fire at the individual level, maintaining the rapid tempo established by Doctrine. Item 2. Automatic weapon issued to designated positions within each squad. Each assault element included a gunner. Once the formation left the shoreline and had to cross open gaps between fortified positions, a single fixed firing point could lock down the entire axis of advance. The Johnson light machine gun provided sustained automatic fire at medium range, pinning the enemy while the formation continued moving. It allowed each element to advance without waiting for support from the rear. The axis of advance remained stable through successive exposed intervals. Item 3. Semi-automatic rifle. Present only at selected positions within the formation, carried by individuals assigned to deliver more stable, accurate fire at medium range. When targets appeared on elevated ground, at bunker edges, or beyond the effective range of submachine guns, a more precise source of fire was required. The Johnson rifle provided control over single targets at distances beyond close contact. It allowed the formation to neutralize scattered firing points without slowing overall momentum. Operationally, it extended the unit's control beyond the confined space of bunkers and fortified structures. Item 4. Sidearm. M1911A1 pistol, 45 ACP, issued to officers and selected non-commissioned officers. During movement and control under intermittent fire, the primary weapon could not always remain in a ready posture. When signaling, directing movement, or adjusting formation in confined terrain, the ability to maintain immediate personal firepower still had to exist. This ensured that command authority was not separated from direct self-defense capability. At the individual level, it preserved the operating rhythm of the squad while the leader coordinated and fought simultaneously. Item 5. Ammunition. Sustained assault required accompanying reserve ammunition. Beyond the initial ready load, carried ammunition ensured firepower could be maintained throughout the mission. Reserve rounds prevented interruption if contact extended longer than planned. Item 6. Fragmentation grenade. Distributed widely throughout the formation. When targets were positioned behind walls, inside bunkers, or within coral recesses, direct fire could not immediately neutralize them. Grenades allowed close-range resolution without halting the advance to deploy heavier firepower. They kept momentum intact in dense, fortified environments. Item 7. Demolition charges. Carried by designated specialists. When reinforced concrete or coral structures blocked the axis of advance, infantry fire alone was insufficient. Explosive charges were used to destroy fixed positions and reopen the advance. They ensured that hardened structures did not become terminal points for the mission. Item 8. Load-bearing system. All combat load was fixed close to the body. Ammunition, grenades, and essential equipment remained immediately accessible. The belt and suspender structure kept weight stable, allowing movement, prone firing, and reloading without reconfiguring equipment. It sustained continuous readiness throughout the assault phase. Item 9. Hydration. During hours of continuous movement in combat, dehydration reduced speed and reaction time. Carried water preserved physical capacity, ensuring operational tempo did not degrade due to physiological limits. Item 10. Carry mode. The assault configuration remained compact and mobile from the moment of approach. Short-term sustainment items were carried directly on the body. This maintained balance in confined terrain and enabled immediate transition to combat. Item 11. Uniform. The jump uniform was the standard issue for Paramarines in 1942. It differed from the standard Marine infantry configuration, reflecting the unit's airborne and light assault organization. Its continued use at Gavutu demonstrated that the organizational structure remained unchanged despite the altered method of approach. Item 12. Headgear system. The paratrooper liner configuration was standard for Paramarines in 1942. Its distinct chin strap system clearly differentiated the unit from conventional Marine infantry. Its presence at Gavutu reflected retention of airborne equipment despite a seaborne landing. Item 13. Footwear. Jump boots replaced the standard legging system. The high-lace design gave the formation a distinct profile separate from standard Marines. Item 14. Field expedient camouflage. Foliage and mud applied to helmet nets were field adaptations to Pacific Island terrain. This was not specialized issue equipment. It was direct environmental adjustment to reduce visual signature at medium observation distance. Item 15. Fighting knife. Carried for extremely close contact when engagement distance collapsed. Its presence reflected readiness for close quarters combat within dense, fortified terrain. Item 16. Entrenching tool. Standard individual digging tool. In coral and hardened ground, immediate improvement of cover had to occur on site. The tool allowed creation of temporary firing positions when the formation was forced to hold ground briefly. Item 17. Navigation tools. Compass and map were issued to leadership positions. After leaving the landing beach, axes of advance had to remain aligned with the original plan. The navigation system ensured assault elements did not drift from assigned objectives. Item 18. Timekeeping device. Personal watches maintained the assault timeline. Operational phases depended on pre-established time windows. Time discipline ensured actions remained synchronized with the broader campaign schedule on the first day. Item 19. Signal equipment. In loud, rapidly shifting environments, orders had to transmit instantly at close range. Whistles and visual signals supported control when voice commands failed. The system preserved synchronization during the initial assault phase. Item 20. Radio equipment. The SCR-536 was carried by selected junior leadership positions and was not widely distributed. Short-range communication was maintained from the moment of landing. Gavutu measured approximately 500 meters by 300 meters. The entire engagement area remained within the effective communication range of the set. Position and situation updates were transmitted directly between command elements as distance increased during the advance. This configuration allowed adjustments to the axis of movement and requests for support without sending runners through exposed areas. At the same time, it did not require deployment of heavier backpack radio systems on a battlefield limited in scale. Item 21. Medical. Individual field dressings allowed immediate bleeding control and temporary stabilization. Personal medical equipment prevented rapid degradation of unit strength after initial casualties. Item 22. Rations. Missions extending several hours required accessible energy sources. Carried rations preserved endurance throughout the expected operational window. They prevented loss of momentum due to fatigue. Item 23. Water purification. Island water sources were not guaranteed safe. On-site purification enabled replenishment when necessary. This measure sustained operations in tropical conditions without immediate external resupply. Gavutu was taken, but not quickly. The assault lasted nearly 2 days, with heavy casualties and close-range fighting inside fortified positions. Dense individual-level firepower allowed them to maintain pressure during the first hours. Light machine guns at the squad level kept the axis of advance from collapsing, but coral terrain and hardened underground defenses turned the battle into the clearance of one position at a time. The loadout reflected the doctrine accurately: strike fast, carry the entire capability on the individual. Reality showed something else. In a fortified environment, speed does not depend only on distributed individual firepower. Gavutu did not invalidate the doctrine. It revealed its limits, and those limits were measured in time and casualties.